So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how much a condo association should have in reserves. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, how much should we have in reserves? Should we even have reserves? Well, the reality is that your association should have reserves. The question then becomes, how much should we have in reserves? And I hate to give you an attorney response, but it really depends. But ultimately, if you want to start with a bare minimum, is your association should have at least at the bare minimum is 10% of your annual budget. And why do I use 10% as a guideline? Well, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and many of the lenders nowadays are wanting to see if an association has reserves, and that's their normal threshold as a bare minimum. However, if you really want to know what you should have in reserves, it really depends on your association and your board. But ultimately, the only way of truly knowing where you're at is by getting a reserve study conducted. That reserve study is going to tell you what's the useful life of your equipment, how much money you should be setting aside each year, and when you'll be potentially making that repair or replacement of that potential equipment. Once you have that tool, then you'll know what the true number is, and then ultimately it will be a decision between the board as well as the membership to decide what's the correct amount to put away in reserve. As a tip, many board members believe that they have to provide the membership with an opportunity to vote down the reserves. That is not the case in Florida. As a board, you have the right to make a recommendation to fully fund or decide we're just going to either fully fund or partially fund and not give the option to waive reserves. That is ultimately the decision of the board on how they want to proceed with that. Overall, my recommendation would always be is to have a reserve study done and have some kind of reserves, because you need money for that rainy day and you never know when things can happen. It's much easier for a board to make the right decision when the money's in the bank. If you have more questions on reserves, or if you'd like for us to recommend a company or two that can conduct a reserve study on your behalf, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach us by visiting our website, managedbyaffinity.com. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give us the 2 thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you in our next video.